Welcome back to Tots. Today we're going to be
Mini-tots.
Mini-tots.
Wow.
Whatever. Either way, it's the Tots channel. So welcome back.
Is it though?
And today we're going to be... Yes, it is. Stop making cringy jokes, okay, Rob? Jeez, God.
I'm just gonna be that guy. It just constantly questions everything.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, shut up, you're annoying.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about the Emmys.
Yay.
Yeah, in the stinky dumb brainer.
Probably the worst
show it
Emmys
was.
I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mom. You've been alive longer than me, so is it the
It was
worst
pretty
Emmys
bad.
you've seen, or
I
is it
think
just
I think it was the
pretty-
worst. I think it was the worst,
Dang.
personally.
Dang.
I
That
mean,
really
it was the
sucks.
worst I've seen. So if it's the worst Mom's seen as well, then that's pretty bad.
That really sucks because, it was sponsored by Schitt's Creek, so I figured, it was going to be really good, but turned out to be pretty shit.
Sponsored by Schitt's Creek. I mean, no wonder they won everything. I mean,
Yeah.
just give it all to our sponsor.
Just pay our sponsor in awards.
Yeah.
I
There
mean,
were
no, they're paying us.
There were several shows that got robbed at the
Yeah.
Emmys this year. Literally robbed.
Yeah. And it literally won every award in the comedy show area.
Oh, yeah, come
and
on.
You're like, cringe.
Goody.
You're like, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that the Emmys might possibly have some favorites. Oh, I don't know. Maybe some bias.
Maybe
Yeah, I
some
tweeted out they
major
needed a whole
bias.
new. I tweeted out that they needed a whole new committee. I was
Yeah.
like, you need a whole new committee to start picking these winners. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it do be like that.
Yeah.
And if you ask, and yes, I'll be one of them committee members. That would be cool
Oh.
to be one of those people. That would be so cool.
I mean, yeah, that would be pretty cool.
And I don't know who all those people are, but I personally think I hope they're not all Hollywood directors and shit, because I feel like some of those people anyway should be regular everyday people that watch these shows. You know?
I mean, I actually used to think when I was like a little kid that it was like they won by like popular vote, like they would actually like people would be able to vote online, and then whoever got the most votes would win.
That would be even better if that were the case.
I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, I think I
Popular
definitely think
vote.
that's how it should be.
Yeah, popular vote should get it. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
What they're doing now ain't working, I can tell you that. That is complete bullshit what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't like most everyone not like it?
Oh yeah. Pretty sure most everyone was like,
I know I've heard like
wow.
everybody talking about the racist moment.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't know what people
racist
thought.
moment?
Hold on. I didn't know what people thought about like the actual Emmy, like the awards, like if they were disappointed that Schitt's Creek got like everything.
Well, I think a lot of people, it seems like, were like, I mean, yeah, they're like total tools, but like also they've been a joke for like years now.
Who?
The people that give out the awards, the Emmys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel, a tool.
Well, no, they mean like the judges that, give out, like actually award the awards.
You mean they judge on like who gets them?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can tell that they are definitely tools.
Yeah.
They're tools for Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. Schitt's Creek went down to the local fucking hardware store and bought a couple tools. Turns out those tools were the judges for the Emmys.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was really shit. I've seen quite a few Emmys. What?
I went boomts.
Oh
It was
yeah,
pretty shit.
Shit's Creek.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's funny because it sounds like the stinky word. Sounds like the stinky word.
Mhm.
The thing is that fucking I've seen some Emmys that are like bad, but not to the point where I was like, that was so ridiculously biased.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
I've seen it to where they're biased in general, but they don't, like, they also kind of are like, it seems like they're biased on one show, but they don't give like everything to the show. They just give like most of it. So then you're like, okay, I can see they're biased, but at least they're not like they're not so ridiculously biased that they're just like, here's every single award.
Yeah.
But this year they literally did that with Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, it's not even a joke. They literally gave every single comedy show award
And then
to Schitt's Creek.
we were watching, and I was literally like, bro, they be leveling up that bias skill tree pretty high.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we get a level 7 bias, boys?
Yeah, I was just having fun laughing at how bad it was, and like every time another comedy show award came up, I was like, "Come on, boys, where's Schitt's Creek? Where it be? You know it's gonna be there, no?" And then it'd show up, and I'd be like, "Thank the Lord, heavens above, it's here. It's gonna take the award.
Wow.
Hell yeah!"
What do you mean? We don't want them to take the award.
I did because it just made him look more and more like a joke. It's kind of funny how like blatantly obvious though that like no one else was getting the comedy show awards because the
Yeah.
Schitt's Creek crew were having this huge fucking dinner party and everyone else was just chilling in their living room.
I also noticed, and this is another thing, is that some people might be like, oh, they're bad sports or whatever, but like quite a few of the other people that were nominees, they started like getting tired of clapping for Schitt's Creek over and over. So then
Yeah.
I noticed that they were like, the majority of them were starting to kind of do like very weak claps because they were just over it.
Yeah.
I was over it.
And some people were probably think, oh, they're poor sports. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm literally a person who's not even nominated. Like, I'm just a person who watches these shows, and I'm watching, and I'm getting fucking tired of hearing them getting everything.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
you're
I'm not
someone
even
that
I'm not
could get
even
an
someone
award.
up for an award, and I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I were them, I would be too. Even if I was someone who, like, even if I didn't get a single award, and I was someone who was nominated for an award, I would get tired of the same person winning all of them. I would be like, can I clap for someone else now?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this is super biased.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also like how it's funny that like it was also obvious that they already knew they were gonna get all the awards because they also had like a new speech for every award. And it's like yikes.
Yeah,
There's no way you had some new thing to say every
the one
like 7
guy
times in a row.
that I think was like the director of Schitt's Creek was also super annoying.
Yeah. He kept acting surprised, and the more and more
Yeah,
awards they got,
yeah.
and the more surprised he got, you were like, okay, calm down. We all know that you knew.
And I was also kind of like, you'd think by like the third award you wouldn't be surprised anymore as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if you were surprised, sure, but like by the third, like for like the fourth award, the fifth award, the sixth award, the seventh award, you'd think by then you'd already be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And instead you probably would maybe take a slice of humble pie and just be like, okay, thanks for the award, and then just shut up and sit down. But he had something to say every time, and I was like, that just makes me seem like he has an ego.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's got to say something. He's got to say something. I mean,
Yeah.
that's something that's kind of funny is that the Parasite director actually like literally gave the perfect
Yeah, didn't
example
he
of what
win
you
like
should do if you
3
get a
or
lot.
4 in a row?
Not in a row, but I know he won 4 awards. I'm pretty sure overall.
And he deserved all of them.
Yeah, but like literally already by the second one or the third one of the two, he literally was already like all his thing that he said was, I don't even, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna go drink now, or something like that. Or I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
so
get
it's like
drunk.
he wasn't like, oh, I have to say something every single time I get an award.
Yeah,
He was kind of like, grateful for the award and everything, but he wasn't trying to take up time and like just be annoying.
yeah, he was like
the guy
I
from
get it.
Schitt's Creek was. He was being annoying every single time.
Yeah.
And then I was also like, that's just making me wish he didn't get as many even more, because he won't fucking stop talking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, can we have an excuse to shut him up, please?
Can he take a slice of some humble pie now, please?
Yeah.
Just be humble with his wins and just shut
We're
up.
humble. Sit down.
Sit down. Be humble.
I agree.
I think his dad is who was also in the show Schitt's Creek. His dad, wasn't he the guy that played the dad in American Pie?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he was.
And then another reason I feel like he has an ego is not only because his dad is rich and famous, but then on top of that, it sounds like he got a free ride to being a director, because he literally said in his speech, my dad let me in on this show when I had zero experience. And I was like, well, then when you're getting all these awards, you should be humble.
Yeah,
Shut
because
up.
that means it wasn't even really you that deserves all of this.
It's more like your dad.
Yeah.
And his dad literally said like almost
was like
nothing.
quiet the whole time, basically. Yeah,
he got like one award, and then every other time that he went up, he didn't really say like anything.
Yeah.
Because his son took over, and his son had like 50,000 things to say.
Yeah. But that's probably because his dad probably had to work for where he's at now.
Yeah, so he's humble about it.
Yeah.
It was a mistake letting his son be in the writer's room. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I like him. I like him as a person, but that was a mistake on his part.
Yeah. And I'm sure it was just to be a good dad, but actually the better one would probably make him work for it.
Yeah. Technically, I was gonna say you being a good dad would be making him work to become a writer rather than give him a free ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Because I mean, clearly he worked for where he's at, and he's humble about it. But his son is clearly not humble.
Yeah,
because he got where he is just because his dad was famous.
Yeah.
And that's really, really annoying.
I was pissed. I was ready. That was the first Emmy I've ever watched where I was actually ready to tune out.
Ready to just turn it off.
Not kidding. I have never watched an Emmy where I felt like that before, ever.
I loved it just because I was laughing so hard at how retarded it was.
Of course. It was retarded.
It was.
It
Yes.
was very retarded.
Alright, so now what are we gonna move on to the controversial racist stuff?
Sure.
Sure.
Alright. So Rob, you give us the breakdown on it.
Well, I don't remember the exact things said, but basically this, I forget his name, but wasn't he the one colored guy from Scary Movie, like the old Scary movies?
I have no idea.
Pretty sure he was.
Remember.
The guy who was like married to the colored lady that was really funny from Scary Movie.
I don't remember her either.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Never mind then.
Got him.
Anyway, he comes out on stage and then he's basically saying some racist stuff about white people and how they don't light black people correctly and yada yada, and it's just like he's blatantly being racist to white people. And then he also like has to scream at what was his name, Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, Jimmy
Yeah.
Kimmel.
Then he
The other
has
guy's
to like,
Anthony Anderson, and yeah, I think you are right. I think that is the guy from
and then he had to like
yeah, that
scream at Jimmy Kimmel to
Scary
say
Movie.
Black Lives Matter with him and
Yes,
stuff. And I
that
was
was
just
ridiculous.
and I was just sitting there like, okay, so you were racist to white people standing right next to a white guy, and then you're yelling at him to say
Black Lives
Black Lives Matter, the cause. And I'm like, nothing about that came off right. I was like, this just sounds really dumb and racist. And
really racist. Really racist.
like,
There are some black people that forget that they have a racist tone as well. It's not just the whole world is against them. They also have a racist tone.
and I think that
And it goes
BLM,
both ways. Black people can be racist towards white people too, and they are, some of them. Not all of them, but some of them.
yeah.
So it goes two ways. It's not like they're the only ones that have ever experienced racism in their entire life.
yeah, but I was just going to say is that the negative side of Black Lives Matter is that some black people do use it as a cover up and an excuse to be racist to white people.
Well, yeah, they feel like they're allowed, but we're not. No.
So,
sorry, it doesn't work that way. Sorry about your life.
yeah, and I'm like, that's not even what BLM is supposed to be anyway. It's supposed to be equality for all races.
Yeah.
So you're ruining the entire message if you're using BLM as an excuse to be racist to white people.
Yeah.
Because then you're just making white people not want to help your cause.
Yeah.
And your cause is supposed to be equality for races. So then when you're being racist, you're going against your cause, making people not want to be for your cause. And then it just turns into this whole like shit show where you're like, why does this cause even exist? But yeah, I mean, see, here's the thing is I'm for Black Lives Matter. I'm all for the cause and everything, but I think it's ridiculous when people use it as an excuse to be racist when that's not even what the message of the cause is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, and quite frankly, I take offense to it I've heard this said many times now. Is all lives matter can't work until Black Lives Matter. That pisses me off. I'm like, no, wrong bitch, wrong bitch, wrong.
What?
I'm sorry, but all lives matter regardless. What our lives can't matter until your lives do. That's the way I take that message.
Yeah. Which is like kind of crazy because Black Lives Matter's like original message is that all lives matter, including blacks.
Yeah, all lives matter to me includes black people, Asian people, and every other freaking
minority
and type there is out there. It means all lives, everyone, not just white people, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works. It works before Black Lives Matters works. Yes, it does. I'm sorry, but it does because it includes all. I get really heated when I hear that, and I've heard several colored people
people's
say,
excuses.
All lives matters can't work till Black Lives Matter. No, wrong. Sorry, you are not at the top.
I mean, it's kind of. Here's the thing: is it's kind of a double-edged sword because it do be true that Black lives do have to matter for all lives to matter, because Black lives are part of all lives.
Because they're part of all lives, yeah.
But then it's a double-edged sword because then people say that in a way, in a like a mean way though, where they're basically telling you, but you have to say Black Lives Matter, otherwise you're a racist piece of shit.
No,
I'm like,
I take it as them saying that no other life matters until ours does. When they say things like that.
Yeah, and some of them mean
all
it
lives
that way.
matter includes all minorities and white people, who yes are the majority in this country. But it includes all of us, including all the other minorities. So what they're saying when they make those statements is none of the other minorities matter, nor do whites until we do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing, and I don't like. That's the message I do not stand
Here's
behind.
what's dumb is that some people mean it that way, where you're saying it, where they're like, no lives matter at all until Black Lives Matter. And then other people mean it in a way where they think that just because you're not saying the words Black Lives Matter and instead you're saying all lives matter, that makes you racist. And I'm like, how?
I
How to
mean,
make it racist when you're
Because if you're
including all
saying,
races?
yeah, if you say all lives matter, then you're literally saying every race. So how does
yeah,
that
you're
make you
actually
racist?
being racist when you say that that can't happen until Black Lives Matters happen. That's the
Yeah.
racist person right there, which is bullshit because they're not at the top of the poll. They're not the king of all this. I'm sorry, but they're not.
Yeah.
Everyone is equal in this situation. Everyone is equal and should be equal in every situation. No, there are situations that aren't equal, and we're trying to fix them. And they have everyone. All it's so diversified. Everyone stands behind everyone else of all nationalities. They're
Yeah.
not fighting alone. If they want people to continue to fight for them, though, they need to stop making those kinds of freaking comments, because those kind of comments just turn me the fuck off. And I'm like, you know what?
I think
I would fight for Black people every day of my life. But if you start talking like that, you're going to lose my interest.
If you start
Yeah.
talking like the guy did at the Emmys, you're gonna lose my interest.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that part at the Emmys just left a really gross taste in my mouth, and I was like, ew.
Yeah.
Oh, why did you do that?
And it went on far too long too, so it's
Yeah,
like the
and
uncomfortability was lingering for so long.
it was just like,
bad.
I don't even get it. Like how either one of them, like how could Jimmy Kimmel being a white guy even stand there and take it like it was fine. It's fine to
It
be
didn't seem like
racist.
he took it like it was fine. It seemed like he was very like
Yeah, he did feel uncomfortable, but
yeah.
he did seem like he was uncomfortable with the situation, but
Well, everybody should have been. I mean,
but I was more concerned on why the black guy wasn't uncomfortable with what he was saying.
Yeah. That's definitely concerning.
Like, why was he being so blatantly racist on live television and it didn't seem like he gave a shit?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, ooh, yikes.
Or like the fact that it was pretty obvious Jimmy Kimmel was uncomfortable and he kept going.
Yeah.
Even when it was obvious that he was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the kind of stuff that makes Black Lives Matter look bad. And I'm like,
It looks
we
terrible.
need to stop doing that kind of shit and just all races matter, all lives matter, and yes, that includes Black lives.
And yeah, there's a
Yes.
lot of unfairness in just things that are happening to Black people and other races that don't happen to whites as often. It happens to us, but not as often. Yes, it's true. And guess what? We're fucking fighting with you. So don't start tuning us out. Don't start. I mean, of all the people, I never felt like I could turn that shit off, until I watched the Emmys. And I was like, I see these things happen in the news. I sit in my chair or lay in bed at night and I cry for these people. I literally cry for these people.
And then
And my heart aches and my mama part comes out of me and I hear him screaming for his mom and saying he can't breathe. And don't think for 1 minute that cannot touch me the same way it touches a Black person, because motherfucker, it can.
Yeah, I mean, if all
Yeah.
lives matter, which is basically the premise of Black Lives Matter, like technically that means all races matter. That's like the premise of the whole movement. Then wouldn't that mean that we're supposed to treat, no matter who you are or color or race or ethnicity, doesn't matter, we're all the same on the inside. We all have hearts and we all care.
Mm-hmm.
And if it weren't for me having to be quarantined because we have a cancer patient in our house, I'd be out there marching with them. I would not think twice about marching with them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the
It's
stinky
because
COVID.
I have a strong feeling
Yeah.
for equality between all races. I have a very strong feel for that, but I don't know.
But stinky
It just
dinky
ticks me
COVID.
off when I feel like some of these colored people are trying to say I don't matter until they do. You're going to lose my interest.
Yeah.
Don't go there because bullshit. That's not how this thing works.
Yeah.
You either want me to back you or you don't. Figure it
Yeah.
out.
It's like they're saying me first, and then you say, "How about us both together?" And then they say no.
That's how it should be. It should be together, united, like we see the protests are together, united, diverse.
Yeah.
I that's how it should be. But
Yeah.
you have certain people that just can't. They can't get it. They can't get with the program.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I smell dinner and it smells good. So,
Yeah, let's wrap this up real quick, but before we go, I wanted to at least give a little positive. One of the very few things I thought was fantastic, and it's probably because Emmys didn't really even have a part to do with it, was Mark Ruffalo's speech when he got an award.
oh God, he made me cry.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
amazing. I love Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah,
so
he was
much.
basically saying what we were saying about how like we all care about each other, we all need to be nice to each other and stuff, and we need to stop like
Yeah.
that we need to stop the kind of shit that just now happened at the
That-
Emmy.
Right.
Yeah.
It just happened right before he spoke.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was like talking about like fighting for like love and empathy rather than, other
Rather
stuff
than
that's not
fighting
that.
with hate and stuff, we need to
Yeah.
fight with compassion.
Yeah,
Yes.
compassion. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
He's an
His
amazing
speech
person.
was amazing. One other
Yeah.
standout was Zendaya was actually the youngest. She is now broken a world record, and she's like the youngest person ever to win an Emmy,
Yeah, I
Hey.
think that's awesome.
and that was
I didn't
amazing.
even know that. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
And she didn't get it because she was black. She got it because she's talented as fuck.
Yeah.
She
So
is
all
talented
these
as fuck.
black people need to fucking calm down. If there's because there's some out there that are like, well, she should have got it. She's black. No,
And I'm
she should
like,
have got
She
it
coulda
because
got it
she's
because
got
she's
talent,
talented.
dumbass.
and I'm like, so what you're telling me is that you don't want equality then, because it's not.
that's not equal. That's not
Yeah, that
equal.
would be
equal.
based on the race, not the.
Yeah, that's not
talent.
equal if you're privileged because you're black. If you win something because you're black, that's not equality. You win something because you have talent.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were the top performer.
And
You know?
Zendaya deserved it, so
She deserved
Yeah.
it. She's awesome.
because of her talent, not because of her skin.
I'm just
Yeah.
making I just wanted to make that little note there because I've heard that shit being said too, and I'm like, oh my god.
She won because she's black.
Or
No,
they say
no,
that
what
no,
black
they
people should
say-
win because they're
no.
black.
Yeah, I've heard black people say she should have won. She's black. She's a strong colored woman. I'm like,
Yeah,
there's
well-
a lot of strong colored women out in the world. They don't win Emmys. She won
Just show
because she's talented.
Just show them the Cuties director defending herself, and then they'll shut right up.
Yeah, no
Because she
kidding.
defended herself by literally just being like, "I'm a black woman, strong black woman,
Yeah, which is
so I can sexualize children
disgusting.
all I want."
It's disgusting. It's like
Yeah, I mean, same thing
since
with
there's
Mark
so much
Ruffalo.
injustice against us, we can get away with anything. No, bitch, you can't.
Yeah.
Equality
Same-
means you are held to the same standards as me.
So when it came to Mark Ruffalo winning his Emmy and Zendaya winning his Emmy or her Emmy, they literally both won their Emmys due to talent, not because one's white or because one's black.
Correct.
They both have talent.
Correct.
Yeah.
They
That's
deserved
like
it.
end of discussion. But Schitt's Creek, on the other
Except for
hand,
Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek, no talent. That was pure
They,
bias.
I can't say they don't have talent, Schitt's Creek, and I can't say they didn't deserve any of them.
They probably
No, I know,
deserved
I was
a
joking.
But
few,
they
but not all.
certainly should not have gotten all of them. There were several other shows in those categories that got robbed.
Yeah.
Robbed
Yeah.
in front of the world on TV. They got robbed.
Let me guess, all of the black actors who also won Emmys from their roles in Watchmen, they probably won just because they're black too, right?
That you'll hear
Of
hear
course.
them say they should have won. They're strong black
And I'm
women.
like,
They're strong black
no, I
women.
watched the show and everybody in the show was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They had
But
major talent.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Dead to Me got robbed hard. They got robbed hard. Those
Oh
women,
yeah, Schitt's Creek robbed
Dude,
dead to
the
me.
great,
those
the
women
great
are
got robbed.
unbelievable.
The great got robbed. They literally
I-
didn't win a single thing, and they deserved something.
I haven't even seen Dead to Me or The Great, and I know that Schitt's Creek robbed them.
No, the Emmys robbed them. Schitt's Creek should never, never have
That's-
gotten that, but that wasn't up to them. That was up to the people.
They
at the
should have
Emmys.
literally called the Emmys, sponsored by Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I made that joke at the
And
beginning.
that's my
So
mom
bad.
review for the Emmys. Next year, do
Are we
better.
gonna rate? Are we
Do
gonna rate
better,
the Emmys out
Emmys.
of 10?
Next year, do better, Emmys. Do better.
Basically, bias and racism was this year for the Emmys.
How
Yeah,
about not allow any of
and
that
unfunny
shit
jokes
into the
because
show?
Jimmy
How
Kimmel
about
is not
not let
funny.
any of that into the show?
And then the only two good parts was Mark Ruffalo's speech and Zendaya's win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
I
overall,
was happy to see Watchmen win too.
Yeah.
That show is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I would overall, I'm gonna actually rate the Emmys out of 10.
Okay.
My final thoughts
3.
on the Emmys.
That's a little bit low.
Because it gets 1 point for Mark Ruffalo, 1 point for Zendaya, 1 point for Watchmen winning some cool stuff. So yeah, 3 out of 10.
Oh
That's
my.
exactly why I gave it a 3.
It only
Only
gets
3
a
good
point.
things.
I'll give it a solid 5. I'll give it a 5, and next year
It
we'll
was
see what
average. So it was average.
happens. For me, 5 is not really average. It's just on the
5
edge.
is average.
It's right on the fence. It's right on the fence. I'm
But
gonna
Mom,
give
there
them
was
another.
blatant
It's
racism.
it's my rating, and they got a 5 because of the blatant racism.
I mean, it's fine if you
Normally,
give
the
it.
Emmys would get a 9 or a 10 from me because I love that show. But this year they got a 5. So for me, that's a low rating.
For me, they only got 1 point per good thing that happened. So 3 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's fine if you give it an average rating. We're just saying like a 5 out of 10 is like straight up average.
Okay. Well, I mean, for me, that's on the fence. They're just teetering on the fence between average and below average. To me, that's what a 5 is. So.
Well, that would be more like a 4.5 then.
Okay. Well, that's my rating.
Damn.
I'm gonna go eat. I'm hungry.
All right.
Alright.
So, if you enjoyed hearing our thoughts, why not smash that sub button?
And if you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, shit on us.
And don't forget to leave your tots on tots.
In the comments.
In the comments
Boom.
below. I
Yeah,
think they
leave
know where to
your-
put them. I think they know where to put them.
Leave your tots
Bye.
on.
Give your thoughts on tots. Give us your thoughts on tots.
End it.
I'm gonna end it.
End it.
Bye-bye.